A World War II paddle steamer lies off of the coast of Malta. Upon closer inspection of its remains, even wartime ammunition tells the story of a country under siege. In today's episode on the DiveSAGA channel. In 1942, the spectre of death looms large over Europe as World War II is raging. Destruction took place at such a large scale that even today we can find its remnants. War is only a cowardly escape from the problems of peace. When the Second World War turned the Mediterranean into a battlefield, Malta absorbed the fury of the Axis air campaign. Because of this, the waters around Malta are filled with World War II wrecks, telling the stories of these deadly campaigns. That is why we are gearing up for a technical dive to the remains of the HMS Hellespont, a paddle steamer built in the UK in 1910, moved to Malta to work as a harbour tugboat, and bombed during an air raid on the night between the 6th and the 7th of April 1942. Although the Hellespont originally sank beneath the smoke and rubble in the Grand Harbour, she was later cleared out and sank out at sea at some 40 meters 130 feet deep, where she rested until she was discovered by divers in 1999. Almost 60 years later. For this dive mission, we're calling in the support of Watercolours Dive Centre in Sliema. This is the same dive operation that helped us bring you the episodes about the explosion accident of the El Faroud and the epic final resting place of the HMS Stubborn submarine wreck. When diving in Malta and staying near the capital of Valletta, Watercolours Dive Centre is a prime choice for divers and my go-to for bespoke diving adventures. The Watercolours dive boat is picking us up right at their dive centre, and we load our equipment for a short ride out to sea to the wreck of the HMS Hellespont. Just as with our previous war wreck dives here in Malta, the key is for the captain to locate the wreck and then drop a shot line right next to it, which we can use as a reference line for our descent into the blue. Although a depth of 40 meters 130 feet is right on the cusp between recreational and technical depths, for us to achieve any meaningful amount of bottom time, diving at technical profile is required, so we bring redundant bottom gas and a 50% decompression gas. It is not as complicated as on some other deep dives, but it's the right configuration to get the job done properly and safely. During the air raids of April 6 to 7, 1942, the Hellespont took a direct hit in the Grand Harbour and sank beneath the smoke and rubble. After the war, as authorities cleared the harbour of wreckage and debris, what remained of the tugboat was towed out and scuttled off of Fort Rinella. pushed from a harbor of shattered ships into the deep as the city rebuilt itself. For decades, the Hellespont lay forgotten until divers discovered her in 1999. Today, she sits upright on a sandy bottom at around 35 to 41 meters. The bow, some 15-meter section, is gone, missing either to the bombing or to the salvage works. But her stern stands up proudly, rising from the bottom to welcome us for some exploration. For a wreck that's over 80 years old, bombed, towed around and sunken a second time, she's in surprisingly decent condition. And there is even some sea life as a cherry on top. Just as with our last few World War I and II wreck diving episodes here in Malta, the mission is to tell the stories of these beautiful wartime wrecks and help promote Malta as a prime wreck diving destination for those who enjoy history. Just like the stern, the midsection and the telltale paddle wheel shafts remain, skeletal reminders of an older propulsion technology where steam engines would drive these shafts and rotate the paddles, which we can see on this original photo of the Hellespont. As mentioned, the bow of the HMS Hellespont is missing. Towards the front of the midsection, nothing but mangled remains bookend the wreck. It looks so dramatic that one would almost forget that she wasn't bombed right here on the spot. On the starboard side too, we can see the paddle wheel drive shaft sticking out. It seems so anachronistic to see such seemingly ancient technology being used during World War II. But when logistics win wars, every available resource can make the difference between victory and defeat. In the sand, what looks like a water boiler that drove the steam engines. I'm not 100% sure this belonged to the Hellespont, but she was indeed steam-powered. The HMS Hellespont was built in the United Kingdom in 1910 and actually served as a tugboat during the First World War at a Royal Navy dockyard and supply base in Ireland. In 1922, the HMS Hellespont was moved to Malta, serving as a dockyard and harbour tug. Since the Hellespont was a tugboat, she was working in the Valletta harbour when she was bombed. When she was later salvaged, she was filled with construction debris from surrounding bomb damage and towed and scuttled in deeper waters here, outside the harbour. It seems like local dive guide Daniele Bertaggia found something. At first, I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking at, but as I move closer, it becomes clear. These seem to be bullets, somehow fused together. The HMS Hellespont was a simple harbour tug, but I did read in the records that after salvaging, she was filled up with war debris. Maybe these bullets were part of that debris. It's hard to tell, but interesting to consider. This is exactly why I love these World War II era wrecks. Every wreck tells a story, but a story about the biggest war mankind has ever fought is impossible to make you feel unmoved. Even if the HMS Hellespont was but a bystander casualty of the war, the bullet debris she carries still tells a story of a city under siege. After 40 minutes bottom time, we do have some decompression obligations to fulfill. The Hellespont may not be the deepest or craziest World War II wreck in the area, but she's absolutely worth a visit. And at 40 meters, 130 feet, she's fairly accessible to slightly more advanced level divers or entry-level technical divers. As we decompress, I ponder upon the harbour of Valletta, where the Hellespont faced her demise. And I remember the stories of hidden tunnel structures underneath the capital, harboring massive World War II control rooms. Then, my mind drifts to a German torpedo boat, laying at the bottom with a torpedo still inside. And I can't wait to tell you that story on our next episode on the DiveSAGA channel.